In the mid-1990s, in the mountains of Yunnan province, China, a little girl disappeared. Her parents searched, her neighbors searched, but she was gone. Her name was Yang Niuhua, and she was only a child. No ransom note, no leads, no trace. For her family, the silence stretched into years, then decades. And yet, 27 years later, this very child, now an adult, would return. Not only to reclaim her identity, but to expose the woman who had stolen it. The woman's name was Huaying. She was one of China's most notorious child traffickers. And her capture and eventual execution would shock an entire nation. To understand this story, you need to understand the time. In the 1990s and early 2000s, child trafficking was a hidden epidemic in China. Because of a mix of factors, the one-child policy, a cultural preference for sons in some rural families, and deep poverty in many regions and underground trade in children grew. Boys were often abducted to be sold to families without sons. Girls were sometimes sold as future brides or for labor. The Ministry of Public Security later reported that thousands of children were trafficked each year during that period, though reliable numbers were nearly impossible to confirm. This was the world Huaying operated in. Between 1993 and 2003, she kidnapped and sold at least 17 children across Yunnan and Chongqing provinces. Her methods were varied. Sometimes she lured children away with sweets or small talk. Sometimes she snatched them from outside their homes. Sometimes she even took advantage of families who trusted her. Perhaps the most chilling detail: Yu even sold her own biological son. Each child vanished into the black market, often reappearing with forged papers in distant provinces. Parents left behind rarely saw justice. In 1995, Yu's crimes reached the Yang family. Little Yang Niuhua disappeared without warning. Her parents searched relentlessly, filing reports, traveling to nearby towns, and asking strangers for help. But the trail grew cold almost immediately. For her sister, the loss became a lifelong weight. In interviews years later, she described how their mother's mind began to break under the strain. Unable to accept her daughter was gone, their mother developed a mental illness. Sometimes, she would sit for hours and speak into the empty air as if Niuhua were still by her side, listening. This became a heartbreaking ritual of survival. A mother carrying on one-sided conversations with a child she could not see, clinging to hope in the only way she knew how. For nearly 3 decades, the Yang family endured this silence, their grief frozen in time. Meanwhile, Niuhua was growing up under a new name, Li Suyan. She was raised in another household, but she never accepted it as her real family. From an early age, she knew something was wrong. She remembered being taken. She remembered the face of Huaying, the woman who had abducted her. Unlike many trafficked children, she was never fooled into believing the woman raising her was her mother. Instead, she carried a constant sense of displacement, a feeling that she did not belong. As she grew older, those suspicions deepened. She actively searched for clues, using every chance she had to find her true family. She often described the experience as living with an emptiness, a part of herself missing, until she could uncover the truth. In 2022, everything changed. While using Douyin, China's version of TikTok, Yang, then still living as Li Suyan, came across a video. The video featured a woman who looked strikingly like her. That woman was her biological sister. Contact was made. A DNA test confirmed her identity. Li Suyan was really Yang Niuhua, abducted in 1995. The reunion came 27 years after her abduction. But for her parents, it was too late. They had already passed away. After confirming her true identity in 2022, Yang Niuhua did not remain silent. She went to the police and reported the woman who had abducted her 27 years earlier, Huaying. In June 2022, authorities arrested Yu in Guizhou province. The case was reopened. Police collected new witness testimony, re-examined old files, and matched evidence with Yu's confession. In September 2023, Huaying stood trial in Guizhou. The court examined her record of child trafficking between 1993 and 2003. Evidence confirmed her role in abducting and selling at least 11 children in the cases presented at trial. Later confirmed more than 17 children, and this number included her own biological son. The judges noted that her actions had seriously harmed the lives of the victims and caused severe social impact. The verdict was clear. Huaying was sentenced to death. Huaying appealed the death sentence. Her case was reviewed by the Supreme People's Court of China, the country's highest judicial authority. In December 2024, the court rejected her appeal. It ruled that Yu's crimes were extremely serious, that she had shown no genuine remorse, and that her actions had caused great social harm. With this decision, the death sentence was upheld and became final. On the 28th of February, 2025, Huaying was executed by lethal injection in Guizhou province. Her execution was carried out after final approval by the Supreme People's Court of China. The news was confirmed the same day through an official notice released by the court and by Xinhua News Agency. With her death, one of China's longest unresolved child trafficking cases came to an end nearly 30 years after it began. The case of Huaying shows how justice can arrive decades late, but it leaves us with a question that cannot be easily answered. Was the death penalty justice, or simply society's final response to crimes that could never be undone? What do you think?